Ladies and gentlemen, poverty is not always the result of fate. More often, it is the result of habits, small choices repeated day after day until they become invisible chains that bind a person to mediocrity. If you wish to rise, you must first recognize what holds you down. The greatest poverty a man can suffer is not the poverty of the pocket, but the poverty of the mind that wanders without aim. Look around you and you will see countless individuals rising early, laboring long, and yet accomplishing so little. Why? Because they have no definite purpose to give direction to their energy. A man without a goal is like a ship adrift at sea. Its sails may be strong, the wind may be favorable, but without a compass, it circles endlessly, moving but never arriving. Purpose is the spark that awakens genius and calls forth hidden strength. Without it, talent lies dormant, ambition fades, and opportunity passes by unnoticed. The man of no purpose spends his days reacting to the needs of others instead of commanding his own destiny. He takes the job offered rather than the work desired. He accepts conditions rather than shaping them, and he wonders why life pays him only in scraps. But observe the one who has chosen a definite aim. His eyes are steady, his steps deliberate, his words carry conviction. Such a person becomes magnetic, drawing to himself people, ideas, and resources that align with his vision. Even in failure, he learns. Even in obstacles, he finds direction. For he measures everything against the question, does this move me closer to my purpose? To live without a clear purpose is to gamble your years away on chance. But to define your purpose, and then to pursue it with unwavering determination, is to place yourself in harmony with the laws of success. Wealth does not flow to the uncertain or the drifting. It flows to those who know, beyond doubt, where they are going and will not be turned aside until they arrive. There is no prison more confining than the prison of excuses. Every excuse is a brick in the wall that separates a man from his true potential. Listen closely to the conversations of the unsuccessful, and you will hear them speak a familiar language. I would, but I can't. I could, but the timing isn't right. I tried, but circumstances were against me. Excuses are the opiate of the defeated, soothing the mind but slowly poisoning the spirit. An excuse is nothing more than a clever lie we tell ourselves to cover the truth, that we lack the will to act. It offers comfort in the moment, but it robs us of progress. Excuses never built a business, never wrote a book, never fed a family, and never created a fortune. The man who leans on excuses becomes weaker with every use, until he believes his own false stories and convinces himself that success was never meant for him. Contrast him with the one who refuses to surrender to excuses. Where others see difficulty, he sees opportunity. Where others wait for perfect conditions, he takes the first imperfect step. He does not ask, can it be done? He declares, it must be done, therefore I will find a way. This determination alone places him in a league of his own, for the world has always rewarded action and punished hesitation. Excuses are seductive because they ask nothing of us. They whisper that tomorrow is a better day to begin, that someone else is responsible for our failures, that the obstacle is too large or the path too steep. But the truth is this: excuses are thieves, and their only purpose is to steal our time, our opportunity, and our future. Every moment spent excusing is a moment that could have been spent creating, learning, building, or advancing. If you would escape poverty, in mind, in spirit, or in wealth, you must declare war on excuses. Tear them out by the root and replace them with responsibility. Say not, I cannot, but I will learn. Say not, it is impossible, but it is necessary. The man who abandons excuses and embraces accountability discovers that the power to change his circumstances has been in his hands all along. One of the most destructive habits that keeps men and women in poverty is the reckless desire to spend before they have earned. It is a disease of impatience, born from the hunger to appear wealthy rather than to become wealthy. Too many people are enslaved not by lack of opportunity, but by the chains of unnecessary debt, forged by their own hands through careless spending. They labor each month not to build a future, but to pay for the glitter of the past. Observe how the habit begins. A man receives a modest wage, and instead of setting aside a portion to grow, he runs to satisfy temporary desires. A new garment, a shiny trinket, a fleeting pleasure, all bought not with money truly earned, but with credit borrowed from tomorrow. Soon, the appetite grows, and with it, the burden of debt. What was once a simple want becomes a binding obligation. Instead of owning possessions, he finds that possessions own him. The irony is cruel. The person who spends to look prosperous ends up with nothing, while the one who saves quietly, invests wisely, and lives with discipline builds a foundation so solid that wealth naturally follows. Riches do not flow to the one who consumes. They flow to the one who multiplies. And multiplication begins not with abundance, but with restraint. Wealth is not measured by how much you can spend, but by how much you can keep and grow. The man who saves even a small coin each day plants the seed of independence, while the one who squanders all, regardless of income, lives forever in servitude. Poverty often follows those who chase appearances, while prosperity seeks out those who master patience. To spend before you earn is to mortgage your future, to trade tomorrow's freedom for today's illusion. Discipline, on the other hand, is the guardian of fortune. Learn to save before you spend, to invest before you indulge, to live beneath your means, so that one day you may live beyond them. Remember this truth: financial freedom is not built on what you buy today. It is built on what you refuse to waste. My friends, the chains of poverty are not unbreakable. They are habits, nothing more, nothing less. Break them and you free yourself. Cultivate purpose, banish excuses, master discipline, and riches in every form will find their way to you. Thank you.